Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. As you can tell, it's your boy Opti. I am taking over for the hosting duties for the rest of the week, but we are still your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover breaking news, culture, and nomadic warfare. We bring on Bitcoiners from all around the world, from the biggest names to the everyday Bitcoiner. We got them all, and we will be your guide through the separation of money and state. And we got a good show for you guys, and actually a very awesome clip. Shouts out to our boy out there that showed us that are spreading the Bitcoin signal to groups outside of Bitcoin, because something is becoming very clear to me, especially to you guys. I know you guys see it, but the world is feeling the pain, and the Bitcoin signal is spreading everywhere. And as you guys can see on the thumbnail, on the title, even the bankers are saying it. You know, Janet Yellen saying the quiet part out loud. Banks are in turmoil, more bank consolidations, and the U.S. may default again. It's almost like Bitcoiners have been saying this for a long time. So as we move away from this unipolar world, one thing's for sure: the world is in transition. So it's important for you guys out there, the individual, to get yourself to the best version possible, get yourself right first, and then everything else will follow. I actually had a conversation at Miami, and, you know, I always say, you know what it's like? It's like when you're in a plane, like, put the oxygen mask on first. And my friend's like, no, you know what it's really like? We are just the stewardess explaining to everyone how to get the oxygen mask on. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is the best way to explain it. But it's important you fix yourself first before you point fingers. As the saying goes, when you point your finger, there's four pointing back at you. And only in this way will the monetary revolution happen and the mainstream consciousness wake up to what we know to be the truth. I believe we all know what the problems are, but people still do not know what the solution is. So do not wait for the experts. Problems are plain as day, and we have the solution, and it is simply Bitcoin. And of course, I am not here alone. And I know you guys are actually, I've been waiting for this moment for a minute. I know you guys have been hitting me in the chat. When is our boy Rustin coming back? Well, guess what, everyone? Our boy Rustin is back in the building. Let's go. I'm excited for this. How you doing, bro?
Man, doing good. What's good, everybody? Happy to be back. Got a lot of big news. De-dollarization. It's like I'm pretty sure Bitcoiners said something about the impending collapse of fiat and its destructive nature. But we'll be getting to that. A lot of big things. BRICS. A little bit of Janet, if you've been missing her. Kind of resembles a penguin, but she's got some good stuff coming your way. Another free and, very successful advertisement for the bright orange future.
Well, I always say it best. The institutions, the central planners, they are the best marketers. You know, we do our best, but I think they do our job better. All right, anyways, let's get into the numbers, guys. We got a lot to talk about.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by Nodl. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a Nodl through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today.
All right, guys, before we get into the numbers, though, let's talk about Bitcoin Conference 2024 in Nashville, July 25th to 27th. Get there, guys. I know a lot of people talk about how expensive the tickets get, but hey, if you get them now, they are on sale, and you can use the promo code SIMPLY to get a 10% discount. We will be hanging out in Nashville. I haven't got to Nashville yet, and I'm excited to go hang out with all my friends that live down there. So I hope to see you guys next year. I had a blast. It's always fun to hang out with fellow psychopathic lunatic Bitcoiners that we all are. and just get the vibes, recharge your batteries. So we'll see you July 25th, 27th in Nashville. Anyways, let's get into the numbers, guys. As you guys know, I'm over here on Clark Moody's dashboard, and I have different numbers than Nico's, but I picked my favorites. As you can tell, the block height is at 791,069, 791,069, and the Moscow time, aka the sats per dollar, is currently at 3,665 sats per dollar, aka how much Bitcoin you can buy for $1. You know, I saw over the weekend that we did hit 4K, and I had my hot or not moment. I've been telling you guys we will never see 4K again. Well, I guess I was wrong. Anyways, the current price of Bitcoin is $27,290 per Bitcoin, and the percentage issued is 92.29% of all Bitcoins ever created. It's almost all distributed out there. Anyways, the market cap of Bitcoin currently is 528.8 billion. The realized monetary inflation is currently at 1.75%. As Nico always says, Bitcoin taking fiat currencies to school. And my favorite number, and this number has actually been fluctuating downwards, which I don't know if that means that the gold market cap is going up, because the Bitcoin market cap's been pretty stable. But anyways, the Bitcoin versus gold market cap is at 3.99%, only 4% of the gold market cap. And let's get into the Lightning Network. The total capacity is 5,337.86 BTC in public channels of the Lightning Network, which means the total value is 145.7 million. The public reachable Bitcoin nodes is 17,096, and the hash rate the last 90 days is 339.3 exahashes. And the estimated difficulty adjustment coming up is 1.2%. And I know everyone is still watching the mempool out there, because it did get a little crazy, but it seems to be clearing up. Will we see one sats fees again? I don't know, but it's pretty normal now. It's getting reasonable out there. Anyways, we have 95 blocks to clear, and the pending fees is 14.39 BTC. All right, guys. This one is very special on this numbers. We got tagged on Twitter yesterday that a pleb out there, one of you guys, one of the listeners out there, made a call in on InfoWars. Now, say what you want about Alex Jones, about InfoWars, but this is something that we've been talking about for a while. It's the idea of getting the Bitcoin signal out there. And it's about getting everything that we talk about into the mainstream consciousness. And sometimes it's reaching out to normal or maybe not so normal audiences and getting the Bitcoin signal out. And I just absolutely want to thank everyone out there that is continuing to do this. But there is a very real point of this. I'm not going to play the whole clip. It was on yesterday's episode. It's about a 7-minute clip, but it's very interesting to see Owen talk about the problems, but really do some mental gymnastics when it comes to the solutions. And I say it all the time. We know what the problems are, but very few people are talking about the solutions. And we know what the solution is. It's simply Bitcoin. So let's get into this topic or this little clip real quick. Again, guys, I tried to clip this out for you, but for some reason my software wasn't working, so it was acting weird. So I'm just gonna play the clip for you guys, and we'll be right back in 1 second.
Back to the phone lines, and let's go to Todd in North Carolina. Todd, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Owen. I wanted to ask you if you know about the event that RFK Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy, Cynthia Loomis, and Tulsi Gabbard all spoke at this weekend.
I don't believe so, no.
It was the Bitcoin Conference 2023 in Miami.
Okay,
And,
yeah, I saw that Bitcoin conference. I didn't know they spoke at it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. RFK Jr. brought up what made him a Bitcoiner, and that was the trucker convoy in Canada and how their funds were cut off. And he proposed that if their money had been in Bitcoin, then Canada, Trudeau, couldn't have touched them. So it's this idea that Bitcoin, which I didn't quite get until I started listening to a podcast called Simply Bitcoin. but their motto for Bitcoin is a separation of state and money. And I'd love to hear you guys interview the host Nico and Opti. They're both from the Southern Hemisphere. Nico, he's from Venezuela, and Opti, he's from Mexico. And they really see Bitcoin as an opportunity to uplift the global South, Africa, all the unbanked nations of the world, countries like Lebanon,
Yeah, sure. So let me just stop you right there. Here's the challenge. Here's the challenge about Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is that you have to find a way so that the transaction economy can run off of it. So in other words, in order for the Bitcoin dream to really work, this is my opinion. I'm not the biggest crypto guy. This is just how I view it. So crypto people listening to this may be like, getting nauseous over my coverage here. But the whole goal needs to be, can I go out to lunch and purchase my meal in Bitcoin? Can I pay my electric bill in Bitcoin? Can I make real world transactions in Bitcoin? Because to me, the whole cryptocurrency thing is basically like a glorified crypto stock market at this point, and not a true transactional currency. Now,
okay, guys, I highly recommend you guys go watch this. This is from yesterday's clip, or yesterday's show over there. He goes on about 7 minutes about, that the government's going to make it illegal, that we need a circular economy, that, people aren't waking up to the idea of Bitcoin. And it's just very interesting because by the end of his little rant, and he went on for a while, and shouts out to them, again, not everyone has the time to fully dissect the Bitcoin signal, to put in the time that we did. There is one point that I did agree. It's what I played right there in the beginning. I fully agree in the idea. Yes, the circular economy of Bitcoin is very important. And this is why I tell you guys all the time, as a Bitcoiner, if you are able to provide your services or products for Bitcoin, definitely offer that, because the more people hold Bitcoin, the more the economy grows, the more people want Bitcoin, the more that you can get Bitcoin into people's hands. And this is very important. But it got very interesting that he started to talk about, people aren't using it at stores, and so therefore it's not a real currency, or maybe the government's going to make it illegal. He even went so far as to say that maybe we're going to have some threats on our lives and all this stuff. And I was sitting there the whole time like, I think we talk about this all the time. This is the separation of money and state, and we are very well aware of all of this stuff happening. And furthermore, if they made it illegal, you can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. So obviously he is going through the motions and trying to understand Bitcoin. But it's one of the things that I talk about as much as possible. I think we know what the problems are, and very few people know what the solution is. But by the end of this 7-minute rant by Owen, it becomes very clear that he kind of inadvertently starts shilling Bitcoin. It's like, oh, wait, we need a currency that no one can control, that's outside of the state, the separation of money and state. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Bitcoin. Maybe it's a shitcoin. I don't know. But, what are we going to do? The government's going to fight us. They're going to hate us. They need to get their cut from it. And we're just here sitting like, yeah, Bitcoin will fundamentally change the power dynamics that go on in Washington. This is a feature, not a bug. So, hey, shouts out to you, Todd. You're a legend. I talked to you this morning on our Telegram group, and honestly, I'm just humbled and blown away that what we're doing here is spreading out into other avenues, into other media, because this is the most important thing that we can be doing, is talking about Bitcoin in spheres of influences that are like ours. People have interests just like us. And we need to wake more people up to the idea that Bitcoin fixes this, and doing it in the best way possible. So, man, honestly, it's just blown away. Nico and I were really blown away by this yesterday. So absolutely awesome. Really appreciate it. Anyways, Rustin, I don't think you saw the full clip. I'm going to recommend everyone go see the whole clip, and you'll see exactly the mental gymnastics. But Rustin, what's your takeaway from this?
I thought that was pretty incredible. As a kid, going through journalism early in school, things like that, I was always kind of out there, crazy libertarian guy, but I followed a lot of InfoWars back in the day. And you go back to Alex Jones, whether you like him or not, he is, pulled the card many a times and been right more times than wrong, it seems. But, going back to him going into Bohemian Grove and all these different things, actual investigative journalism, and to get shouted out on there, that is pretty awesome. And I think at least that guy's going to go watch RFK's speech now, like at minimum, and then he's going to learn more. Like, he obviously doesn't know about the Lightning Network and almost free instant payments anywhere in the globe, or that Strike just became available to 3 billion people. So that's 3 billion people now can use Lightning for payment all over the planet. Huge things, a lot of signal, and really cool to see that happen. And it just means, we're on the right track. We just got to keep plugging and keep delivering this message of positivity, hope, and prosperity.
We are over the target, Rustin. And it's just good.
Yeah.
It's just awesome to be a part of. But anyways, before we get into the news, because Rustin is back and we're going to get some awesome Rustin takes today, I want to tell you guys about BitBlock Boom. This is the next conference that we're going to be at, and I hope to see you guys. This is a true Bitcoin Maxi conference. It's going to be in August 24th to the 27th in Austin, Texas. I really hope you guys go hang out there. This is literally the conference that I first met Nico in person, and then I got a job the next year at Bitcoin conference. So you want to come hang out with all the toxic maxis, all of your friends, all of your favorite Bitcoiners are going to be there, and you can get a discount code on bitblockboom.com using the promo code Simply Bitcoin. Anyways, let's get into this, Rustin. I hope you are ready for your debut back on the show, bro. I'm excited for this.
Oh, it's been a minute.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
You're live, Rustin.
All right. It is time. Let's get it. Getting it started, guys. All right. So, big news out of Venezuela. Global shift away from US dollar is now inevitable, says Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. So Maduro says African nations are setting the tone. They are adding to the process of the inevitable de-dollarization of the world. The more multipolar the world is, the more multi-centric the world is. As the world moves further toward equilibrium, a basket of currencies will appear. Many alternative initiatives to the US dollar are emerging. We could say we are beginning to live a sustained, accelerated process of de-dollarization of the commercial world and of world trade. And we've been hitting on this quite a bit. I'm kind of thinking of the mandibles and how in that novel, Russia and other countries like a BRICS union adopt an alternative currency called the Bancor, and it's backed by hard assets. It's kind of what Keynes was getting at in his view of a world currency in the future. But big moves coming. And we've also seen the inflation numbers, what's going on around the globe. And this shift, a big shift is happening, macro-wise, massive. And we're talking about BRICS, so let's just get to it. 13 countries formally request to join BRICS as an economic alliance against US dollar supremacy. So far, a number of countries, at least 13 from Africa, Latin America, and Asia, have applied or formally approached the BRICS leaders to become members. This is positive news for the bloc as it demonstrates the confidence of a global South and the leadership of our association. Sukal says BRICS is reportedly considering the launch of a global currency backed by gold, is now encouraging members to shift away from the US dollar. Someone better let that guy know. I think Bill Miller had this. Gold is just an inferior form of Bitcoin. So you guys might want to check your numbers right there. And just to add insult to injury, so you got the world de-dollarizing. So what the IMF and other people around the world want to do is, after they print all this money, they hope through their predatory loans on other countries, which they hold them hostage through, is they eat up some of that inflation. So you're exporting your inflation to third world countries and others while they harvest your cobalt or whatever it may be. And what happens through de-dollarization is now those extra dollars have nowhere to go home. And then we have, Weimar is coming. Like, it could be on the cusp. And there's all these things, all these little pieces, parts of the puzzle that would bring about a type of hyperinflationary event. They all seem to be unfolding. And everything that was unfolding in the story, The Mandibles, it's kind of crazy. But let's get to Janet Yellen. And she says more bank mergers are likely amid the industry turmoil. And here we go. According to the Treasury, Secretary Janet Yellen reaffirmed the strength and soundness of the U.S. banking system, noting that it remains well capitalized with strong liquidity. She noted that decisive federal action taken by regulators and the administration in March to protect depositors helped to strengthen public confidence in the banking system and mitigate financial contagion. I don't know who improved in confidence, probably the normies, but that's about it. Although Yellen appears to be projecting the strength of the banking system, CNN cites sources familiar that the Treasury also discussed the possibility of bank mergers. So someone tee up YG, big bank take little bank. This is the process. And when they force these banks to acquire those low interest bearing assets after the 08 debacle, and they raise these rates, all those smaller banks then had a high jump in unrealized losses. Then once people started pulling their money out, they became realized losses very quick. And these things can move fast. You can go back, to 1929 and other events of bank runs, and these things just kind of take a life of their own. And this is more from Yellen. It is highly likely that the Treasury will no longer be able to satisfy all of the government's obligations if Congress has not acted to raise or suspend the debt limit by early June. But we're also strong and resilient. So kind of trying to go play it both ways here. We know the truth, Janet. Here we go, waiting for Daily Huddle here. Now this, taking it a little further, and you get into capital controls and things that happened in Weimar and other nations when they were on the cusp. Now, here, this article from Daily Huddle: probability that U.S. banks will restrict cash withdrawals is rising like mercury. And this is pretty interesting. So if we went back a year ago, the probability you would assign that we would be almost zero. And I'm saying that probability, like mercury, is rising. But why is it rising? It's rising because we have experienced, I call it the Fed folly. One can say factually that this Fed hiking is the fastest and of the greatest magnitude on a percentile basis. If you look at it, no doubt, even greater than Volcker's jump in the 70s. Although blanket limits on bank withdrawals are unknown in the U.S., such restrictions were implemented in Greece and Cyprus during the debt crisis of the mid-2010s. And remember Julian Assange exposing those things. Cash withdrawals are currently in place in Nigeria, where individuals are allowed to withdraw 20,000 naira, worth about $43 per week. That is it. Leaders in the economically troubled nation say the move is designed to pull cash out of the system ahead of the planned move to a fully digital currency. Let's take a look at this tweet from Wall Street Silver. UK banks making cash withdrawals extremely difficult, treating their customers as if they are suspects in a potential crime. No, you do not have, you cannot access your own money. Sorry, the state has seized it. I wonder if there's a solution to all these problems we just covered today, Opti. Our primary aim is to keep customers safe and secure, and our branches follow our process carefully to achieve this by forcing you to use money that steals from you and benefits the quintillionaires who we give free money to. This will include asking you questions about the purpose of your cash withdrawal. We may also ask for supporting documentation. So all this bullshit just to access your own money. And this is in the UK. And we also know what passed there with Micah. But Opti, if you're good, we can go ahead and roll that Janet clip real quick.
And, you know, I would simply say since 1789, the United States has a history of paying its bills on time. That's what the world wants to see, a continued commitment to do that. It's what underlies U.S. Treasury securities as the safest investment on the planet. And it's not an acceptable situation for us to be unable to pay our.
Oh, yeah, the soundest, the safest. Why don't you ask Silvergate about that? That went real well for those guys. Now, here we go. Bitcoin Archive, U.S. Treasury just asked government agencies if payments can be delayed as cash is running out. So what is it, Janet? What is the truth? Maybe we can't handle the truth, but I think we've known it for quite a long time. And these people have ran up 31.7 trillion, almost 0.8 in national debt, and they have the audacity to give you a credit score, and they have the audacity to come out and tell you with any glimmer of hope that they know what's happening or that their intervention will fix their past fuck up on the last intervention and the last intervention before that. And we know where this ends. We know where this ends. The debt cycle, DEBT debt cycle is in play. Greg Foss, the legend, has been calling it for a long time and like just trying to grasp 31 trillion, right? That is a shitload of money. Our current national debt, $31 trillion, but also deeply concerning is 75 trillion. Yes, 75 trillion in unfunded obligations. And that is not included in the 31. So we got about 106 trillion in liabilities and debt. And what is that? 52.9 trillion in Medicare, 22.4 trillion in Social Security. The trust funds are drying up. So there's only one solution for Jenny from the broke block to go, and that is to print money. Better call up Jerome, see what he's doing. But this is big stuff. Big stuff. And we can go back to Simply Bitcoin IRL when Tone Vays came on. And then I wrote an article on the Currency Wars Volume 2 on Bitcoin and geopolitical game theory. And we're seeing these things play out. And one of the big things Tone hit on, and I used in that article, was BRICS. BRICS is already outperforming the G7 in a GDP percentile basis. And we know there's 13 more nations. Other things have hinted at 30 more nations joining the economic bloc. This from Kim.com. All the surplus of the U.S. government in the past 53 years would not pay for a single year of interest on the government debt. The U.S. has been bankrupt for a while. Money printing was the remedy. It's coming to an end. And when de-dollarization by BRICS Plus reduces U.S. trade by just 20%, it's game over. And not to toot my own horn, but me and Mike, shortly after the removal from Russia from SWIFT, both put pieces together on how we thought this thing would play out and eventually lead to a Bitcoin explosion. And we've seen the news all around of now the U.S. is at about 50% of global hash rate, but we have China is still a number 2 or 3, Malaysia, Indonesia, a lot of other countries coming to the fold, which we may touch on what Excellion and Southern Asia were touching on and integrating that and bringing Bitcoin into the fold more. But all of these things, why do you want to get rid of the dollar? Because it can be manipulated and some douchebag in his armchair eating caviar can shut down your nation's economy. And we saw what happened in Canada, and RFK hit on that quite a bit. So to all these things, to ending the inflation, to ending this manipulation by the Fed, to freezing people's money, and that even coming to America likely soon. There is a solution. It's just get out of this system. Opt out. Bitcoin's sitting there. It's looking you right in the face, and we can move on and take care of our own future and start building a future we can be proud of. Just get these old penguins out of the way. Let the Bitcoiners take over, and we got it. We got it, baby. Free markets and freedom will win every single time.
Let's go. Absolutely killed it, Rustin. I'm glad to have you back. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was cracking up. Rustin, I love you, bro. Absolutely love it. But, to get back on Signal, I think it is very obvious, at least to all of us, and it's becoming very clear to the average person out there that something is happening and we are moving from a unipolar world into a multipolar world. Now, of course, is this going to happen overnight? No, I don't think we have seen all the tricks pulled out of the bag yet by the central planners, by the U.S., because we do have, well, rather not we, but those in power do have the most to lose. And this is something I'm going to talk about in the culture and explain it to you guys in a way from, again, our boy Mike. But something interesting to kind of connect this with the numbers portion. In that clip that I played, that Owen, or shouts out to Todd, that he referenced simply Bitcoin, he was talking in the long version clip about the fact that the central bankers will fight this tooth and nail. And I think we are seeing this happen. I know that we see this happen every single day. We know the low-hanging fruit arguments that they say all the time. They drag them out whenever they need, like a parade about Bitcoin, money launderers, terrorism, financial terrorism, all the works. We already know this is happening. But I think it's important to know that this is going to happen a lot longer than we probably think about. Like, I know a lot of us Bitcoiners like, hyper-Bitcoinization is going to happen overnight. But I really do think, and I've said it before, that we are in this for the long run. I think we're going to be doing this for a long, long time, probably for the rest of my life. And I think it's just important to kind of temper our expectations, know that we are right, but also that this game can play out a lot longer than we can expect. And that we don't want to lose faith during that process. You don't want to get demoralized. Hence why I'm always talking about, like, get outside, touch some grass. But hey, Janet Yellen, which one is it? Is the banking system okay, or are the banks going to get consolidated? It sounds like you are talking out of both sides of your mouth, and everyone in the chat was saying the same thing. I am pretty sure the U.S. defaulted on its debt a few times in the year, whether it was when Nixon got us off the gold standard or in 1933-ish. So it's very interesting. And I guess we could argue that it's probably been a few more times than that. But hey, one time is enough to prove that it's not what she is saying, and they are lying out of both sides of their mouths. So is the banking system okay, or is there something to be worried about? As a Bitcoiner, obviously, where I'm coming from, but it's very interesting when you realize exactly what central bankers and the politicians are doing. Everything is a PR war. It's all about a confidence game. We know how the banking system is set up. It's literally a Ponzi. They don't have your money. And the whole name of the game is just ensure that you don't get a bank run. And how do you do that? You don't go out by telling everyone, oh, hey, the banks are going to blow up today, guys. No, you play the game. Everything is fine. Don't look for the exit door, guys, because we have everything under control.
Just take our trickle-down poverty and accept it.
Just trust us, bro. Just trust us. All right, guys. Anyways, before we move on, I got to tell you about our sponsor, Orange Pill App. Shouts out to Brian and Mateo. We were hanging out with them in Miami. Absolute chads. Really love them. But hey, get on the Orange Pill App. Stack friends at Stack Sats, because I learned one thing very quickly, and it's the importance of having local Bitcoiners. Being the only Bitcoiner in your area, it really takes a toll on you. So get on the Orange Pill app. It's the number one source for meeting Bitcoiners and finding Bitcoin-only events in your area. If there's no meetup, create one, guys. It doesn't even have to be like an educational event. Just simply link up with Bitcoiners, grab a beer, unplug from the fiat matrix. Don't be the only Bitcoiner in your area, because as we are seeing and covering every single day on this show, you may need to rely on your neighbors moving forward. Now, am I going full apocalyptic on you? No, but it's important to build a community of like-minded individuals around you, or else not only does it get lonely, but it could get dangerous moving forward. So don't mean to get too doom and gloom on you, but hop on the orange pill out, find events, hang out with Bitcoiners, build your local Bitcoin social layer, and stack friends that stack sats. Anyways, let's get into the culture. I'm really excited for this one. I had an epiphany over the weekend.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, guys, I want to tell you about the Swan IRA, their new offer. Bitcoin is generational wealth, and you can secure your bright orange future with the Swan IRA. Real Bitcoin, no taxes. Swan offer both traditional and Roth options to best fit your needs. Create your IRA and start adding Bitcoin in less than 1 minute. Transfers and rollovers are available. Swan's Bitcoin experts will give you a white glove service and take care of you guys. And this is real Bitcoin, not an ETF or other derivatives. Get the real thing. And I know all you guys say the same thing. Why should I need a Swan IRA? Just stack sats, take Bitcoin into cold storage. Now, while I agree 100%, there's levels to this, and there's still some people that have money in the traditional financial system, and they can't just get it out and put it into Bitcoin. And furthermore, there's shouts out to the boomers out there. Some of them are still not completely comfortable with going all in on Bitcoin. That's highly respectable. In time, everyone will go to Bitcoin. All roads lead to Bitcoin, but we still have the offer for you guys. So definitely get on to swanbitcoin.com/IRA. And if you need the product, they got it for you. I actually had some good conversations with some of the Swan guys over the weekend, and basically TLDR, there's levels to this stuff. All right, guys. Anyways, I am very, very excited to read this one for you guys because it was very fitting. Mike didn't even get to Bitcoin conference in Miami over the weekend, but he dropped this epic article. And I had this realization while I was hanging out with a couple of my friends. It's understanding what the game is, guys. We are playing a power game. We've talked about this in the past a lot on the show. The politics is a game of power, and their power is backed by the money printer. And if we have the best money in the world, then eventually we will also accumulate the power. Now, let's just hope that Bitcoin incentives stay true, that everything that we talk about will stay true till the end of time, because Bitcoin is a new money that is incorruptible. And if you can't corrupt the money, then you can't corrupt the politics, and the power game is going to get equally leveled out. Anyways, that was my PSA. Now let's get into this article. So shouts out to Mike Hobart, the Mike Hobart on Twitter. He writes for us at simplybitcoin.news. But I really like this article because it paints a picture that I talk about here all the time. It's trying to become the best version of yourself. Now, am I a finished product? No, but I am working to become the best version of me, get my mind right, get my body right. And also, shouts out to everyone at Bitcoin conference that was like, wow, Opti, you're so much bigger and more fit than I thought you'd be. Thank you. I've been putting in the work. I'm not trying to LARP about who I am or what I do. I'm trying to live my message because I think this is the most important thing we can be doing. You are the Bitcoin message. You are the billboard. People, for better or worse, human psychology is funny. They will judge you off your appearance. They will judge you off your life. So get yourself in the best place possible as you shill Bitcoin, because everyone in the world, in my opinion, wants one thing, and that's to live a good life. And Bitcoin allows people to live a good life. So Bitcoin deserves better from you. This is the title of this article, and I'm going to read a little bit. I know I try not to read, but Mike killed it, and I think his words do this message justice. So let's get into it. He goes, I don't like politics. I'm apolitical. And he goes, yeah, right. The problem here is that people seem to think that the game of politics stops at the governmental body level. It does not. Politics is merely using various forms of human communication in order to coordinate, capitulate, or dominate. There's nothing different between haggling over a bill in the Senate, negotiating the terms of a divorce in the courtroom, or anchoring the price point of a television for sale at Best Buy. There is no avoiding politics. Apolitical is political. Leadership is political. Conducting business is political. Coordinating family Christmas is political. Dating is political. Getting that promotion at work is political. Coaching is political. Investing is political. Bitcoin is political. You can be disinterested in politics. That's your choice. But what that means is that you will ultimately be dominated by those who actively engage in it. Politics is power, social power. Politics is war. It is just war by another name. When waging war, whether that be hot war or political war, management of public relations is paramount in the modern era. In a world of social media and smartphones, and where cameras are readily accessible and available everywhere, any misstep, mistaken, or failure can be broadcast to the world in seconds. Projecting how morally deficient your cause is or how much your side lacks in intelligence, this means that accountability, responsibility, intent, and self-control matter now more than ever. In any other moment in history, anyone can be made the face of failure today. Anyone can be made the poster child for the propaganda campaign that provided enough fuel to lead to their own demise, especially with regards to something as powerful, as freedom enabling, as political as Bitcoin is. This is not just a monetary war. This is a political war. This is a public relations war. This is a war that is urban, rural, digital, physical, psychological, emotional, and philosophical. This is a war over the hearts and minds of the American ideal. This is a war over the hearts and minds of every single person on planet Earth. Freedom for anyone willing to take it upon themselves. Make no mistake, everything is at stake here. Couldn't agree more. I think he summed it up very well. Anyways, he goes, carry yourself. When you go out and engage in discussions over any matter, understand that you represent the mission. What do I say all the time? You guys are a walking representation of Billboard, of Bitcoin. Take it upon yourself to get you to the best version of yourself. No one's a finished project. The warts are good. Be authentic, be genuine, but do your best to get yourself to the highest version of yourself. And I really do believe that Bitcoin allows this for people. It's done it for me. It's done it for my other friends. And of course, we're not finished products. A lot of my friends are millennials, but I've seen the improvement. And if it can do it for us, it can do it for everyone else. Anyways, he goes on to kind of talk about everyone, some of our friends on Twitter, and a lot of the outrage culture that we see on Twitter and social media. And he goes, you're acting like a child, having emotional outbursts, losing your temper. These are all negatively impacting the mission that you claim to uphold. You erode the strength of your own position by lacking the discipline and self-control to conduct yourself admirably. Every participant of an organization is a representative of their faction. Your backstory does not matter. You having a bad day does not matter. No one gives a damn. This is why more Bitcoiners need to adopt the way of the warrior in the garden. Force is only expressed when and where it is necessary. Outside those monetary circumstances, it is paramount that grace, peace, and patience be practiced. Bitcoin and liberty are matters of a decentralized manner that rely on autonomous, distributed leadership on a global scale. Leadership that does not end. Defending liberty never, ever stops. There will always be someone somewhere that wishes to take your freedoms away from you because they believe that they know what to do with your life, your belongings, and your money, your time better than you do. Even if they do, and they might, hey, maybe they do. It does not matter. You should be free to live your life in whatever manner you see fit, so long as you are not negatively impacting the life of a quality of life of those around you or those in charge. Leaders with rules because rulers don't lead. Absolutely love what Mike writes. He's one of my favorite writers, and this is why I brought him on the team, because I love him. I think he's a great example of what it means to be a Bitcoiner, but he also has a level, sober head on him, explaining the mission of Bitcoin. And this is something that I realized over the weekend as well. I know there's been a lot of animosity on Twitter, and there's been a lot of infighting because it's been a bear market, and there's a lot of purity tests. But I think something that came to to a point over the weekend for me is we're missing the trees for the forest, or the forest for the trees. I forget which one it is. We are in the position right now that then they fight you stage. It is becoming clearer and clearer and clearer to me that we have bigger enemy to look at than to point fingers at everyone around us. I think what Svetsky always says, Bitcoin is responsibility go up technology as well as number go up technology. And this is where we are right now. We have outsourced all of our responsibility to people that are quote unquote experts, that are government officials, central planners, and you need to take back responsibility for your life. Does that mean you are perfect today? No, you are not a finished product. But in time, you will get yourself in a place where you have a better mind, a better body, better finances, fix the money, fix the world. But also, it starts with the way that you think and view the world. And guys, we are playing 5D chess. This is uncontentious. I believe we have the right answers. I believe we have the solutions to the world's problems, and it's not all of the problems. We will not solve every problem of the world by the Bitcoin standard, but we will start with Bitcoin, and everything else starts from the fact that the game that we are playing right now, whether that's political, whether that's social, is based off a fraudulent money that is designed to steal from you. This is where we are right now. And now we have the tools to take back your personal power, to build on something that doesn't steal from you, that isn't castles made of sand. And moving forward, you are a representation of everything you talk about and everything you live. And it just made me realize that we are really playing a 5D chess game, and we have the power. We have the game in mind. And, it's like poker, guys. Do not give up the fact that you are winning. Do not tell your enemy where you are moving. Throw some smoke screens up. Make people laugh. What do I say all the time? If you tell people the truth and you don't make them laugh, they will absolutely kill you. Well, guys, we are in a position right now where we have a lot of angry people. We have a lot of people missing what is actually happening because they're getting caught up in factions. There's division. They're fighting over everything. But it really comes down to the money. Keep it simple. It's the money, stupid. The money printer is why there's endless wars. It is why the politicians are ever able to hoodwink every single person on planet Earth. They have been able to get away with it for far too long. The Janet Yellens of the world that come out here and play a PR war. It's a confidence game that try to tell you that, oh, everything is fine. And on the back end, they're having secret meetings telling themselves it is not fine. Guys, take it upon yourself to save in Bitcoin, take Bitcoin into self-custody, and from there, get yourself going. As I said in the beginning, one of my friends told me that I need to update my parables. I usually say that we are simply in an airplane going down and we need to put the oxygen mask on. And he's like, dude, step back a moment. This is not the best messaging. You do not want to tell people it is hopeless and they need to put the oxygen mask on first, because that sounds very doom and gloomy. He's like, what we're doing here as Bitcoiners is we're basically the stewardesses on the plane, showing you exactly how to put the oxygen mask on, showing you exactly what is going on in the world today. And I really do believe that in time, more content creators, more mainstream corporate press content creators will start talking about Bitcoin. It's only a matter of time until Bitcoin becomes the keynote debate topic everywhere. Is it going to be this next election cycle? Probably not. But the next one, if you aren't pro Bitcoin and your actions back it up, I don't think you have a chance, because Bitcoin is the future. Bitcoin is the way that we can opt out. Bitcoin is the way for humanity to move forward and start to prosper, because we've been stolen for far too long. And this is why Bitcoin, this is why I love going to conferences and hanging out with my friends. This is why I've built a community of Bitcoiners around me, because I think we have the solutions, and I want a bunch of like-minded soldiers around me that also want to not only change the world, but see the world clearly and help everyone else prosper. Anyways, I ranted long enough. Rustin, what's your thoughts?
Man, you straight killed it. I was just thinking about when you were talking about poker, right? You don't want to just up the bid, say it's Texas Hold'em, and you've got the winning hand, right off the flop. So you slow bleed them. Let them think they're in control. Let them think they have the best hand. You just keep answering their calls. Then when it comes time to flip the cards and show what you got the winning hand right there. And that's Bitcoin, the sound money standard for the future. Everything is politics. I love what Mike laid out there. And it goes back to game theory. The political system is, and even whether you choose to act or choose to participate, that's still a choice added into the theory of game and all the different decisions that are going into political game theory. Currently, the system, politics, it's a rigged game, and it's rigged because of fiat. So if you think about society and how it's deteriorating and we're heading towards a more hedonistic society, think the dollar is the current language of value, and it's controlled by a corrupt government. Its language is corrupt. It's therefore how you value things that trickles out into society on what is valuable, what is virtuous. And we see where that has led. When you have fiat money, it deteriorates society, and it's because of time preference. And then as we get to a sound money, like you were saying, by lowering your time preference, you're able to focus on the real things that matter, whether that's your family, your work, and you also have this hope that you can actually build for the future and achieve that American dream for yourself because you don't have a corrupted language of value that's helping you place values on other things as well. And that's into game theory. So as more people come around to it and more people begin to lower their time preference and we start moving towards a more egalitarian society, and that's just game theory playing out. We talked about this kind of before the show. If you're in politics, going against Bitcoin, you have nothing to gain, but you have things to lose. Now, if you support Bitcoin, you're not going to lose anything, but you're going to gain one of the largest voting blocks in the country. And one thing, too, adding on this was RFK at the conference. He said that American ideal and the spirit of liberty and the founding fathers lives on in Bitcoiners. So I think he understands how important sound money is. We know JFK was looking at reinstituting sound money, and some people didn't really like that, but it's in his family's blood to kind of stand up to the monolithic state. And that's whether Bobby Kennedy, his dad, or his uncle JFK. But we are entering a new paradigm. Bitcoin, politics, these things. We have senators. I think there are currently 8 members of Congress that have admitted to holding Bitcoin. Then you had 4 possible presidential candidates voice their support, and also their support for the principles behind freedom of speech, liberty, free markets, and how all of these things kind of intertwine when you get to Bitcoin, sound money, and the American ideal as set forth by the founding fathers. So it's all kind of coming to pass. It's moving kind of fast. So it's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And not to mention, we are 342 days until the next halving.
It's good to have you back, Rustin. It's very good to have you back. Love it, bro. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, this is one of the reasons why I gravitated to Bitcoin in the first place. And it really took a bunch of conversations with friends that I think really get it. And also Nico's been one of the ones that has been kind of explaining to me, like, bro, Bitcoin is highly political, because I come to all of this as apolitical. I've opted out of politics when I was younger, and I just thought it was a waste of time and it was useless. But I'm starting to realize that what's the saying? Whether you agree with politics or not, politics, or whether you're interested in politics, politics is interested in you. And yep. I think it's important for us to acknowledge where we are in the world and work towards where we want the world to be. And that's just the realist, the pragmatist in me. And it's important for us to, take a sober look of where we are. I know a lot of you Bitcoiners are like very apolitical. You're like, fuck politics. I agree with you as well, but I think it is naive for us to completely dig our head in the sand and avoid this conversation in general. Bitcoin is political by nature because it is apolitical. If you take away the control mechanism, what is control all about? What is politics all about? It's about controlling you guys. Anyways, before we move on, I got to tell you about our sponsor, the Bit Plates. You guys need to get one. Check it out. I got one here. They are solid, guys. Check them out. What do we always say? They are 316L marine grade stainless steel and offering the ultimate protection against the extremes of temperature. It's easy to use, hard to destroy. Hold on. You hear that? That is some sturdy stuff right there. Anyways, you can get 10% off all BitBlake product by using the code SIMPLY. Get yourself one, guys. You do not want to leave your private keys in your sock drawer on a piece of paper. You need to protect yourself. All right, guys, let's get into your favorite portion of the show. You literally come through all of this just to get to the meme review.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom Rack. Actually, shouts out to all the Kaboom Racks homies. I was hanging out with them all weekend. I basically was making rounds and always coming back to their booth at the Bitcoin conference. I absolutely love them over there. Shouts out to Alex, one of my good friends. He's really one of the not only cooler dudes in Bitcoin, but just one of the smarter, sharper Bitcoiners. And I'm just honored that he's a friend. Shouts out to Kaboom Racks. Anyways, this is the meme review, your favorite portion of the show where you guys tag us in memes. You guys send us memes in our Telegram group and we review them live. Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. As you can tell, we are in an information war, and the information war is a confidence game, and they want you to still believe in the system. So what are you going to do? You're going to opt out. You're going to take Bitcoin into self-custody. You're going to ridicule the corporate press. You're going to keep your friends' morale up by making the funnies. And of course, also get the calls of action out there, because people still don't know that Bitcoin is the solution. And this is all we have to do, is try to get 8 billion people to hold Bitcoin. Or, you know, let's start with a few billion. We're still at probably, what, I don't know, a couple 10 million or something. I don't know. Who knows how many people out there hold Bitcoin? This is a feature, not a bug. But soon enough, the whole world will hold Bitcoin. Anyways, this first meme is by Greg Zaj Uno. Good to see you in Miami, bro. And I think all of us Bitcoiners kind of feel this way, either consistently or, you know, in cycles. Every once in a while you're like, wow, yeah, this is me. Anyways, I don't know what the show is, but the screenshot is of a girl here and she looks pretty despondent, and Greg goes, me all the time with Bitcoin, and she goes, I don't know shit about fuck.
Oh, that's Ozark.
Okay,
Ozark.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But this one's kind of funny. The updated version of Greg jogs and it goes, me all the time with Greg's head here. I don't know shit about fuck. That's hilarious. Okay, this next one is by Fab the Fox, and I'm glad that I saw this one this morning, because again, if you watch that whole clip of the number section that I played today, he said something on the lines of, if there is no transactions of Bitcoin happening in the economy, then how is it going to become anything worth of anything? And we got this Inception meme here, and we got Leo going, Bitcoin doesn't have value because I can't buy goods and services everywhere with it. And I forget what this guy's name is, but he goes, gold has an $11 trillion market cap with zero merchant adoption. And we have Leo going, wait, what? And that's exactly what he said in that clip. Without the merchant adoption, Bitcoin won't be able to accrue value. Now, obviously, we are very big proponents of the circular economy. I cannot wait till I go to a store and they take the best money in the world, which is Bitcoin, because that will make my life so much easier. Anyways, this next meme is by Maxie's Club, and it goes, 404, no rushes, special guest at Bitcoin Heroes. And we got some Bitcoiners over here. One's got a seed signer. One's got a Bitcoin coin in their hand. It goes, what happened to him? And it's a guy that's a skeleton sitting on a bench. And I think there's Bitcoin here. And he goes, he said a 1 sat per byte transaction, has been waiting for it to be included in a block. Oh, man. Will we ever see 1 sat bytes fees? I hope Matt Odell is not right on this one, but we'll see. It's getting a little more manageable in the mempool. So, you know, hey, will we get back to 1 sat fees? I sure hope so, but maybe this is adoption happening in real time. Wink, wink. Anyways, this next one is Stacker News. And this is a Spider-Man meme. And again, I'm so bad with movie stars' names, but we got the girl here, Lois Lane. I think it'd be Tell Me the Truth. I'm ready to hear it. And we got Spider-Man, I forget what his name is, and he goes, lightning will kill your shitcoin, and she starts crying because the pain of your shitcoin bags is too much to bear. Okay, this next one is by my boy Skeef, at Skeef underscore 25, and anytime we make memes about my friends, I absolutely love this. So we got my buddy at Joe Rogers, or at underscore Joe Rogers underscore on Twitter. And this is him at the Bitcoin Mag store. And he's looking over very, very seriously. And he's putting his hand on the table, and he's making a point. He goes, a stable coin. And then he goes, get that fucking petrodollar out of my face. And he points away. If you know Joe Rogers on Twitter, this one's just a classic. He's super going hard on the idea of stable coins being a petrodollar, and sats are my stable coin. And then, of course, shouts out to my boy Hodl Tarantula. I was hanging out with him all day, a true Bitcoiner in every way, and a man that lives his message. And I thought that this was a fitting way to end today's show. And we got this AI picture of Bitcoin about the Bitcoin logo, and it looks like it's I don't know, a world or bubble, and it's looking like a modern landscape, a technological future. And Tarantula goes, plant the seed of truth and let it grow, but do not waste your precious time trying to convince those who refuse to see it. Remember, your duty is to speak the truth with respect, not to force it upon others. Respect your own time and let the truth speak for itself. Wise words, my boy HT. Absolutely love it. Guys, drop your meme review score in the chat as we cover ours live. Man, it's good. This one feels good. All right. Anyways, my meme review score for today. I hope you guys drop yours so that I don't rug pull your meme review scores and you guys get mad at me on the first day of the week for me hosting. It's not only my Bitcoin conference badge, but it's my Simply Bitcoin BK branded badge. If you know, you know. Shouts out to everyone that we handed out stickers to in Miami. We really love and appreciate all the support. It really means a lot to us. It's an honor, and it's humbling that we can do this every single day, and you guys want to show up and hang out with us. But anyways, Rustin, what is your score for today?
Well, as we were talking about national debt and Weimar coming, when money dies, Adam Ferguson, make sure you check that out so you're not sweeping those cuck bucks out of the gutter and you're stacking sats, baby.
Oh, Rustin, we missed you. I love you. All right, guys, you already know the deal. Rustin's looking very suave today, so maybe there he goes. He's got the black Represent hat, but go check out representltd.com. Get yourself some Simply Bitcoin themed merch. I think there is a few hats left. We do have the QR code over here. So scan it, check it out. I'm pretty sure we still have some Represent snapbacks on representltd.com. But go support the boys over there at Represent. I'm wearing this one is the limited edition. I think this might have been just a promo type Simply Bitcoin hoodie. But use the promo code Simply-Bitcoin and you can get yourself a discount on all the merch over there. Shouts out to the boys that Represent. Really appreciate all the hard work. But in the meantime, all right, let's get to it. Let's read some. Oh, you know what I forgot? I will get the music for the rest of the week. I don't have the music. So in honor of that, I will give myself a... that's the only thing I missed today is the music. Okay, I apologize. We'll get the epic music. All right, let me see. I am going to find some of the score. Here we go. First one. Rave Elevator says, I give the memes the 100 satellite phones issued to Congress 2 days ago in case of an emergency. Yes,
Not sketchy.
Yeah,
at all.
exactly. I wonder what is happening. You know, my tinfoil hat went off, and it was like, oh, so they're gonna shut down the phone line. Sounds good. Okay. Anyway,
Cyber Polygon, anybody?
Yikes. Okay, this next one's by Elaine. Shouts out to you, Elaine. Goes, score. Bitcoin takes off after Simply Bitcoin appearance on Alex Jones. Appreciate it. Shouts out to Todd. What a legend. But this is part of the mimetic warfare, the guerrilla mimetic warfare that is every single one of you guys just spreading the signal any way possible, whether it's through art, whether it's through your podcast, whether it is trying to get your friends and family to stack, whether it is mentioning humble little Simply Bitcoin on InfoWars. Absolutely legendary moment. Okay, this next meme is by Bitcoin for Canadians. It goes, I give those memes extra fire, 3 fire emojis. Let's go. Hold on. Wait, can I? Yeah, I think I could say this one. Okay, it's basic biology. I give the memes a previously lubricated Rubik's Cube. Okay.
I didn't say anything about where they were putting the Rubik's Cube. It's
say
fine.
less. Okay, this next one is by Steve Dre. Steve Dre. He goes, rating memes, $1 petrodollar. Okay, this next one is Igor. I'll try to we'll get through these ones. We'll get through these ones today. Okay. Igor goes, I give those memes 1 sat per second streamed over Lightning for the show duration. Let's go. Appreciate it. Shouts out to my boy Enira. Good hanging with you, bro. He goes, I give the memes a BK sticker plus wine styles from the pool party. If you know, you know. Oh man, wrecked. Okay, Narwhal Tacos. I give those memes 1 BBL WTI crude equals 255,271 sats. And he goes, oil will begin being priced in sats by 2030, in my opinion. Okay, let's go. All right.
Measure your net worth in sats.
Shouts out to my boy. I really love this new name you got going on. Pay producer Jacob Sats for his 10 seconds wasted. He's talking about me saying in spaces I always waste Jacob's time by making him talk. Anyways, he got score 420 knacks per second for producer Jacob. Oh man, he's rich. Okay, this next meme review score is by Andres. Shouts out to you, bro. And he goes, meme score, a CZ apology letter to investors in 2024. Oh, if you know, you know. I think Rustin, I'm going to give you that article and we should cover that tomorrow. Okay, this next one. How many more we got? Okay, all right, we got a few more. Biologist Barlow, I give those memes a shattered glass debt ceiling. Yes. What's a ceiling if it doesn't hold the roof up? Anyways, how to coin. I give those memes a cup of porridge for Grandma Yellen. Oh man. Okay. Apollo 21. I give the memes the voice of Rustin as I push the earth up today. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, last one, guys. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. Is by our friend Bushmaster, and he goes, score, same, reading when money dies. Let's go. Well, man, it's good to have you back, Rustin. This was epic.
Happy to be back.
We're gonna be, me and Rustin are gonna go hard all week. I think I'm going to push our guests back for this week so that me and Rustin can iron out the kinks, and also so that you guys can get on the normal show with Nico and all that good stuff. But really appreciate having you back, Rustin. I think everyone in the chat is hyped to have you back as well, bro. And after this week, guys, Rustin is back on the job making the clips that you so love, and we're super excited to do that. So Rustin, really appreciate it. Go into the spaces so that we can get a solid Rustin recap. All right, love you, bro. We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't miss.
All right, guys, you already know the deal. We are in audio form on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Fountain. I know. Paid producer Jacob, for his 10 seconds, whatever your name is today. He's been giving me a lot of crap for not speaking on the Fountain, but as you can tell, we're going way over our normal time. So we really appreciate all the support. I might not be able to get them read on the show anymore because we're just trying to give you guys all the sauce. Anyways, really appreciate every single one of you guys. It really means the world to us. We are doing our best to give you guys the content so that it's not dependent on just Nico and I. We're going to try to do our best to spread the signal every single day, with or without us, rain or shine. The Simply Bitcoin will not stop. We have it in written form, simplybitcoin.news. We're on YouTube. Shouts out to everyone on Rumble. We really appreciate you guys. We are building a strong community on Rumble, and it means the world to us. I think we're on Bitcoin TV as well. I think also, guys, we are on Twitch. No one wants to use Twitch, but hey, if there's some Twitch users out there, you don't want to come to YouTube, we are on Twitch. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow, same time as always, 12:15 p.m. Eastern time. And until that, peace out. Come hang out with us on Twitter Spaces. We are going to continue the conversation until 2 p.m. Eastern time. And it's good to be back, man. All right. Peace out, guys. Till next time, is your boy Opti.